Okay, we are live. Welcome back to Buckeyes Battle Cry. I've got Brock and Ben here from Elite Tiger Sports, ready to rock my world and hopefully not rub it in too much. They're Missouri Tigers. The Mizzou Tigers took down my Buckeyes of Ohio State a couple weeks back now. But welcome to the show, gentlemen. How you doing this evening? Brock, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's weird talking to Ohio people.
Well, yeah, especially in such a good mood. I probably wasn't in such a good mood on December 29th, however,
Oh,
admittedly.
don't worry. For 3 quarters, we weren't either.
No, I feel you on that. Yeah, trust me, the game was crazy. Not in the sense of like exciting, but in the sense of like, is this really a football game right now?
It was the most Mizzou football game for the first 3 quarters that I
Oh
think
my
me and Ben
goodness,
have
I
been
bet.
to in a long time. And me and Ben have been going to football games for a while. So,
I bet. Well, you know Missouri in and out, and that's why I wanted to bring you on to discuss the Cotton Bowl. But yeah, I guess real quick, just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your Tiger fandom and how you became Mizzou Tigers fans.
Ben.
Um, well, I guess how I became a Tiger fan was
Yeah.
that um, ever since I was little, every time I'd go over to my grandparents' house, there would always be a Missouri Tigers game on or a Kansas City Chiefs game when I was little. So
Very
I just
nice.
kind of grew up with it, and that's what I've always grown to know.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, if you're around it, that's what you like. That's what you learn to like, and it just became a part of you, probably. So that makes sense. That's really cool, man. Um, how old are you guys, by the way? I'm curious. How old are you guys?
Hang on, I think it might have froze. Oh, sun gun.
I think it did.
My
I think it
Discord
did.
crashed. No!
We tried.
Well, I guess I'll speak now since he's out of commission. I'm
Right.
24.
Okay.
Uh, so Ben's 23. Uh, Come on, connect. There's internet. I know there is. There it is.
There you go.
Ben,
All part of being live.
it
Technology, it kills
crashed.
you sometimes.
Ben, it crashed. I'm back though.
I knew something like that was gonna happen. That's hilarious, though. Um. So yeah, how about your fandom? How did you become a Mizzou Tigers fan yourself? Then.
Oh, well, I am the more unique one out of the two. And
Oh,
Ben will be the first one to agree on that as to how I became a Tiger fan.
I
I
see.
am the only Mizzou fan in my family. The rest are Jayhawk fans.
KU Rock Chalk.
Yes.
Whoa.
So I am the only one. I get shit for it on the daily because of
I
it.
I believe you because they're
Um,
rivals.
uh, there is every time that we hear Mr. Brightside, Ben, what do we chant during the melody?
Hey, I'm not at liberty to say I don't say those kinds of things, Brock. But
All right,
Summer
I guess I'll
language.
be the one to say it. Mr. Brightside's melody plays after I'm Mr. Brightside. The entire, you'll hear 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 fans all at once chant, fuck KU. Fuck
It's like that,
KU.
huh?
It is on site with them. I became a Mizzou fan because of the
Yeah.
2007 Armageddon game between number 5 Mizzou and number 3 Kansas.
That game was hype. The first Mizzou versus KU game I ever watched, too.
Say, it's
that's a
that
good game to start watching.
that was
No joke.
that was the reason why I become a Mizzou fan. I became more fanatic as the years went on, to
Me
the point
too.
where for that Cotton Bowl game, I drug my father, who is a KU fan, down to go watch that Cotton Bowl with us.
Is
Like,
you.
you are now coming with us. I have had to sit and listen to so much crap because of
Yeah.
KU basketball. Now that we're in football and I have the money because of my jobs and everything that I do, you're coming with us. it felt so good to do because the last time
Man.
before this year, the last time that me and him went to a Mizzou game, Ben
Yeah.
was with us. It's when Mizzou got blown out in Manhattan against K-State
Oh,
Oh,
pain,
that could hurt.
pain, pain.
in a monsoon,
Ooh, did you
40
sit
to
through the whole
12,
game like troopers?
first row, visitor section, K-State fans
Corner of the
heckling
end
us the whole
zone.
time, pouring.
Wow. Respect and salute to you guys. That's
What was it?
amazing.
An hour and a half delay because of the thunder and lightning?
Oh
Sounds
wow,
about
yeah.
right.
Oh, I've been to a game like that, Utah versus Michigan. Because believe it or not, I'm actually not an Ohioan. Believe it or not, and this is crazy. And I'll tell you my Ohio State fandom if you care to hear. But I actually live in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Oh my God!
Isn't that wild?
Whoa.
So I
Well,
live in the belly of the beast, and I grew to hate them even more as a result of that.
yeah, fair enough.
But my first game was an Ohio State versus Northwestern game in Evanston, and I was just hooked. I couldn't get enough, man. And I decided right then and there, um, it's all Ohio State for me. You know, my first football game was, I don't know if you're too familiar. You guys are a little bit younger, so you might not remember these names. But Joe Germain, David Boston, guys like that for Ohio State.
David
Um,
Boston does ring a bell.
yep, David Boston was a superstar wide receiver for Ohio State. Not so much in the NFL. He got into steroids in the NFL. He found the juice.
Well, that was apropos at the time.
It was. So anyway, I actually found you guys' channel because of your bowl game experience, your bowl game vlog. And I was like, yo,
Hey, it worked.
I need to get these guys on. They look like fun dudes. They clearly had a good time. It looked like an amazing time, celebrating the victory. But before we get into the bowl game vlog and the bowl game itself, how long has Elite Tiger Sports been around? How long you been doing the podcast, earning our stripes for?
Oh, well, Elite Tiger Sports is all him because I had been doing and still do YouTube videos on my own since my
Okay.
freshman year of high school.
Excellent.
And with our other buddy who we do another podcast with, me and him have been doing that podcast since our junior year. So we've just been churning this out. This is nothing like new to me.
That's
A
phenomenal, man. So you've been in the YouTube game for a while now.
little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah. The algorithm is
Not going
friendly
to
at times and very unfriendly at other times.
Well, we've kind of found what we're good at, or at least I'm good at with Ben with Elite Tiger Sports. So
Without question, man. And the algorithm, it was a YouTube recommended video. I did not search for anything Ohio
Yes.
State, Mizzou.
Let's go.
It was a YouTube recommended video, and I was like, "What is this? Let's check it out." And
yep.
like I said, I liked you guys. You guys were funny. You look like you're having a good time. But tell me, this is a little bit painful to talk about
I
now. We're
created
getting into it.
the channel
What's
on
that?
April 20th, 2020.
420.
Yep.
Respect.
That I didn't even that's total like I didn't even realize that. That's pretty funny.
That's pretty ironic knowing you, because you have
Yeah,
like
knowing
absolutely disdain for all things that indulge in that. Yes.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And
So
our first episode of the podcast we ever did
Well, it
was
wasn't even on Elite Tiger Sports at first. It was over on B Card,
that is correct.
which oh god, how long has that been for it?
The first earning our stripes that was on Elite Tiger Sports
yeah,
was posted on September 22nd, 2022.
The first
okay.
EOS
Okay.
period, as I'm trying to pull it up now,
Yeah.
was July 3rd or July 19th. No, July 1st, 2022.
Oh, I see. So
Oh god,
okay,
we made the switch from Elite Tiger Sports Ben or over to Elite Tiger Sports after that K-State game.
I
Oh, that
see.
sounds about right.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm just looking at that now. Good lord. I hadn't
That's
thought
wild,
about
man.
I haven't thought about EOS Elite or earning our stripes on B Card's channel in so long. because it's
Okay.
been almost 2 years at this point since we did that.
Sure.
Oh man,
That's
that's
so
all
wild to
gone.
think about the consistency. See, here's the funny thing. I actually started my channel back in 2008 when I was a freshman in college. Um,
I
and
noticed
so
that. I had looked through your channel and I was like, he's been posting all these things recently since the Cotton Bowl, and then there's a huge gap in
huge gap,
videos.
huge gap. And then just some random videos, personal videos, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, the channel really picked up steam back in '08. But I'll be honest, you guys might be able to relate to this. But back in 2008, being an 18-year-old, YouTube comments are harsh, man.
Oh
Yeah.
Like
yeah, we've had a
like they
few,
will
but
pick at you for the tiniest thing, and they will continue to pick and continue to
Oh,
pick like a
which one
bully.
was it? The
God,
was it
there's
the Arkansas
we got
comment
a
section?
lot of hate for that Arkansas one this year, and a lot of hate for
Oh,
that first K State one.
okay.
Like, and it was just that Ben can say a little
Vitriol.
bit more than me because here's the thing: me and him go on a lot of trips for these games.
That's
Like,
awesome.
we went to what, including the Cotton Bowl. Me and you went to K State, Memphis, and St. Louis, Fayetteville,
Really?
Cotton Bowl, and then you were also at LSU in the Tennessee games.
Ooh.
The
James saw the
year,
Heisman Trophy winner.
last year we went to the K State game and to the Tennessee game, and this next year, me and Ben are going to 5, and I'm going to 6 because I'm going to fly to Amherst to go watch Mizzou versus UMass.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
They play at the Patriots
That,
Stadium,
that,
do they
that's
not? Or do they
that's
have their
so
own
no,
stadium now?
no, they have a different stadium. It's a converted lacrosse stadium.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness
Yeah, it
gracious.
it looks
Okay.
like crap, but I'm going because I'm an absolute sicko, and I will do that. And Ben
Yeah, you
knows.
gotta be a little bit of a psycho fan to go all the way up to UMass from Missouri to a tiny little stadium. But I respect the commitment, man. I love it. You're gonna have some awesome vlogs.
I'm the same person though that's sitting here. I'm waiting for the Mountain West to announce their schedule so I can go to the Oregon State Air Force game. So because
You're a
that's just such
diehard
a
like me, man. I love any and all college football. As soon as it's on in August or September, wherever the first game is, I'm watching. I'm watching Maction during the middle of the week because I'm from the Midwest.
yeah,
So I'm
action.
love me some action. I'm watching Pac-12 after dark, although that's dead
yep.
now. So
Well, now it's gonna be Mountain West after dark.
Mountain West after dark. Yep, no doubt.
All hail the Pac-2.
The Pac-2 rise up. So we'll see what
Uh,
happens with that with the
but
realignment. I don't think we're done with realignment yet, but
But Brock, you got to remember that I do have some other games planned that aren't Mizzou
I know I
football
was about to
related.
say this guy
really.
Ben though is the true sicko because hang on. In addition to those 6 Mizzou games, you went to an LSU Grambling State game,
Why?
Illinois versus Minnesota.
Ooh, ugly football.
It was actually a pretty good game.
I don't
Uh,
Yeah.
remember it.
those were the only other 2 that were non-Mizzou. But how many do you have that are non-Mizzou planned this year?
Yeah, tell us.
He's got the list, so that's why I say that.
Well, I have the list, and I know that I'm planning for sure to go to Nebraska at Indiana.
Okay. Bloomington.
Yeah, I have friends there, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Then
The real quick, the guy Robert down in the comment, he's my co-host on the lives that we do every Thursday at 9. So he's kind of chiming in. He's the only Buckeye fan in his family of Michigan and Michigan State grads. So that's kind of humorous as well. Going back to your comment about being the only Mizzou fan in a family of Kansas Jayhawks.
Yeah.
So
I
he can
understand that
relate.
pain
He can
too
relate.
well. I
Yeah,
understand that pain too well, sir.
no doubt, no doubt.
Wasn't an
I
Ohio
know.
State game on your list at one point? Was it like the Kent
The
State game
horseshoe
or something
should
like
be if
that?
it's not.
We're getting to that because
Okay.
as I have friends that go to the University of Minnesota still, I'm planning on
Great.
going back to Minnesota for the Iowa at Minnesota game.
Ooh, rivalry game. I like it.
And
They have a wonderful stadium.
Funny because their defense is always so good, and the offense sadly can't do anything.
The Hawkeyes, yeah, their punting is their most lethal weapon.
Their
Which, no
defense is
shade,
pretty
punting
good.
is important, but no, that's
But
pretty
one
funny.
thing
I'm
that
actually
looking forward to that you might find interesting is that I have on my list the Western Michigan at Ohio State game.
dude, come on, go to the Horseshoe. Yes. That'll be amazing, man. I mean, that'll be a blowout, of course, I would imagine. I would hope anyway. You know, Western's not as good as they have been under the PJ Fleck years. So that should be fun to see the famed Horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy River. It's a beautiful, famous stadium.
Sidebar, Ben, did you see the tweet that I sent you?
No.
The Bama game is homecoming for them.
Whoa.
Oh, really? At Alabama?
Whoa.
God damn it!
Wow.
Well, I thought those were going to be cheap tickets.
Yeah, homecoming. That'll spike it. That'll spike it all right.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm planning on going to one of three games: either Ohio State at Michigan State, Ohio State at Penn State, or the game Ohio State versus Michigan. Ponying up and spending the big bucks to go to Ohio State, Michigan in 2024.
You know,
that'd be a really good game.
Oh wait, we do have that type of game next year. It's being
Yeah,
played in October.
Ooh.
Against Oklahoma.
OU. Oh my. Oh
Bringing
my.
that rivalry back. Can't wait for that one.
Oof. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Old Big 12 stomping ground rivalry right there.
Not
That's
just
sick.
Big 12, Big 8.
Big 8 even. Yes,
Original
you're right.
Missouri Valley Conference. Like the
Dang, bro.
between the Okay. I'll explain this real quick because it's quick little Mizzou lore.
It's
Mizzou,
important.
Oklahoma used to have a trophy for that game called the Tiger Sooner Peace Pipe. Oklahoma lost the trophy.
Come on,
and
OU.
have still said they don't know where it is.
Man, they're smoking with it, you know.
Tigers fans are still pissed at them for this because it was a gift from a native tribe from the Kansas City area. So
Man, they pawned it off.
It's one of those where at this point it's okay. You don't want to give it up. That's cool because you're just afraid that you can't beat us.
There you go. There you go. I dig it. That'll add some fuel to the rivalry. That's cool, man. I didn't know that. Ohio State, Illinois have a peace pipe as well, but that's been almost semi-retired. It's more like Illy Buck is what they celebrate
that
now.
Weird turtle, yeah.
Yeah, Illy Buck. So, well, let's dive into the game, man. Tell us. This is painful. Painful question.
Can we not dive into the game? Can we just jump to the fourth quarter?
Right. No, I feel you, bro. That's how. Well, fourth quarter wasn't good for me, but tell us how euphoric that one was over the Buckeyes. What was the atmosphere like for you guys and the atmosphere in the stadium?
Crying tears of joy.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel you.
I think it was after Drink got the Gatorade bath. Me and Ben just started hugging each other and crying.
You sure did.
Because Ben was in Marching Mizzou for 4 years and went to 3 bowl games. Really? And every time they went to a bowl game, they lost. Wow. So Ben had not got to experience a bowl victory in the 4 years he was there at Mizzou.
Okay.
And this was Mizzou's first bowl victory since 2014 when Matty Mock was the quarterback and, Gary Pinkel's there. We beat Minnesota in the Citrus Bowl down in Orlando. So
come on.
This was,
This was the first season, like all through college, whenever I was there. We had gone 500 or below all 4 years I was there for school. And they finally do something amazing. And it's just like, of course, I had to leave. And now
when I'm not there anymore.
Cool, all right.
It's like
the year after he leaves.
It's like the universe telling you should have got a master's degree, man.
Oh God, no! Oh God, no!
Yeah,
Not
I
him.
would never do that either.
Ooh.
Believe me, never. That
Like I don't know. We were next to some Ohio State fans. They were cool. They were
they
from
were
the Kansas
friendly
City
enough,
Metro.
or I'm sure they were about as depressed and dejected as I was because I have watched Ohio State not score a touchdown only 3 times in my life in a football game in my fandom. The 2016 Clemson semifinal game where the Buckeyes got shellacked 31-0,
Forget
didn't
about that
score in
one.
the semifinal. The 35-3 USC shellacking out in the Coliseum back in 2008, and this game. That's it. Ohio State scored a touchdown every game the rest of my life. So I was just like, what is going on? Now, caveats aside, I know there's a third string quarterback back there for Ohio State, but geez, what a yeah, it was disappointing for us Buckeye fans, but it must have been euphoric for you guys for sure. It sounds like it was, especially with the pain in the previous years.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Well, that's cool to hear, man. I mean, that honestly is cool to hear, and I'm not saying that like condescendingly or anything like that. But what was the atmosphere like in the stands? Because the game itself wasn't all that entertaining, was it?
So half the stadium was energized. The other half was just kind of there.
Was just kind of there.
There was a lot more red there than I was expecting.
I was going to ask what the crowd split was. What do you think it was?
About 50-50.
Even. Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
However, I don't think that came across noise-wise over on TV.
No, it did not. Trust me. It sounded pretty dead.
But
it was dead for a good while for sure. Through the first 3 quarters,
I think it was a lot of
some amazing play on defense happened. It was pretty dead.
Because a lot of Mizzou fans were having, Nom flashbacks. It's like, oh God, how are we gonna lose this time? Oh,
here we go again.
We're gonna lose 3-0 and not score a single point. Oh,
dude,
God.
I legit thought the score was going to be 6-3 final. Like, I mean, I just thought Ohio State would add another field goal at some point, and I thought Mizzou would score for sure, even though the Buckeye defense was clamped down for the majority of the game, until that euphoric fourth quarter for you guys. You must have been going absolutely nuts in the stands, man.
More so because of who scored the first touchdown for Mizzou.
I hear you.
When you have a walk-on who the year before Division II walk-on who rushed for 2,000 yards at Truman State, which is just right up the road in Kirksville, Missouri, comes down to Mizzou.
Wow.
Walk on. No one even thinks about him the first year he's here, and me and Ben immediately latch on to him. And the entire time we're at the K-State game, we're holding up signs. I have the picture somewhere saved on my phone and my laptop of the Photoshop that I did where it's Cody Schrader's face with a Shredder helmet on, and underneath it says the Schrader. Like, we latched on to him. And not only this year did he score the first touchdown in the Cotton Bowl for Missouri, he also set the single season rushing record for the Tigers this year.
He sure did. He is a phenomenal back.
Breaking Tyler Beatty's record, who Ben will be the first one to tell you, neither one of us thought everyone was ever going to break Tyler Beatty's record.
Untouchable record, or so you thought.
Beatty was just on like this pedestal of he was the only bright spot in that 2021 team. That entire year was just a wash. We'd like to block it out of our memory. It was that bad of a year.
Right.
Who was quarterback that year? Was it Bazelak?
Yeah, it was still Bazelak.
Oh, God.
Okay, Connor Bazelak.
So he went, someone who went from Mizzou to Indiana is now playing at Bowling Green at starting quarterback.
Yep. He sure is.
Like, we've tried to block that year. The only bright spot is Tyler Beatty and Nick Bolton, and that's it. That is the only bright spot on that from that year. Because that was the Armed Forces Bowl loss against Army.
Ooh,
took the walk-off field goal as time expired in all of us in the band just sat in silence
because we don't know how to tackle a fullback.
Oh man, on live, yeah, those triple option offenses, man, they can be slow death and painful death sometimes.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't even that though. It was more Mizzou had. I'm getting off topic. Anyway, we're talking about the Cotton Bowl, not past
for
trauma
sure,
me and Ben have because of Mizzou. This is important to showing
yeah, the
the
pain of
joke
where it
is
came from to this victory now.
the joke is on EOS, and we say it now about the basketball team this year.
Okay,
No matter how excited you get, at the end of the day, you got to remember it's the same old Tigers. Like, no
okay,
matter what, Mizzou is going to suck or get fucked by the refs
yeah,
or something because that's all we've ever experienced. We're not used, people are like, Ohio State fans on Twitter, oh, why is Mizzou celebrating this like this is their Super Bowl? Because it was.
it
This was
freaking
the first
was. I get that.
this
I
is our
understand that.
first New Year's Six game that we've ever played in. This
Yeah,
was the
not just
highest
ever won, ever played
level.
in.
This
Yeah,
is the highest level competition that we have played in a long time, except playing against Georgia every year.
yeah,
This is the first time that an out of conference team, we've looked at them and gone, yeah, we can beat you. And it's not been like,
yeah.
Boston
Crazy.
College or
Right.
Central Michigan or someone like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was the first
Well,
time we were like, we could do this.
going into the game, I'll give you the Ohio State fans' perspective, and maybe you felt this from Twitter or social media or even at the game itself. Ohio State fans were very confident in an easy victory, I would say. No disrespect. We thought we would roll. Um, we didn't know Kyle
If you
McCord
guys
was going to leave.
if you guys had Marvin Harrison, then I think without a doubt you guys could have probably taken care of it.
I think
I
Cat
think
still
so.
pieced him up. I will still say that till I die. I think Chris Abrams' dream would have pieced him up still.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, shoot, Marvin Harrison, he's going to go top 5, and he's a stud. He even cooked Will Johnson. He cooked every corner that he faced this year. Thankfully, he had 118 yards versus Michigan, just didn't result in a win. Um,
But that's the thing. Chris Abrams' dream had taken on competition comparable to Marvin Harrison Jr. He had taken on LSU. He had taken on
yeah,
Georgia. He had taken on Florida,
he stood
K-State,
the test,
Memphis,
battle tested, and that
and
is
had
the thing.
shut them all down. LSU,
Ooh,
it wasn't throwing through the air that beat Mizzou. It was Jaden Daniels running. Against
it's
Georgia, it wasn't
right.
Georgia beating them through the air. It was the Georgia defense shutting them down. Against Memphis and K-State, Cad didn't let anybody get past him, and he was
Well,
picking off the now quarterback of Ohio State, Will Howard. He
yeah, Will
destroyed
Howard.
the second best team in the American Conference in Memphis, who he also picked off. He
Yeah.
took on the best that Mizzou had to take on every
That would have
single
been a
week
fun matchup to see, and
and
he
beat them.
honestly he shut down Emeka Ibuka pretty well. I would say Emeka did not have a good night, so
And that's the thing.
maybe that was
At the end of the day, no one's going to talk about how good this Mizzou defense was at all.
right.
Because right after the game, Ben can confirm this. It was just Ohio State fans. Oh, well, you beat our backups. You beat our third strings. I don't
Ooh,
care. You
yeah,
said you have 5 stars. All these guys were
yeah,
3 stars coming out of high school.
yeah. No, that's the thing. Excuses, excuses, excuses. I don't play that game. I think that's weak sauce, and I get why they did it. Defense coping mechanism. I get it, but you guys earned the victory. You gutted it out. And you proved to be the better team on that night, regardless of who we had or didn't have on the field. I think you probably would have beaten us even if Devin Brown had played the entire game. So, hats off to you guys.
What was it that Drink said to end the game, Ben?
Uh,
We're not blue bloods. We're dirty, hardworking, blue collar boys.
Mm,
And even
yep.
like pregame, Drink said it, and he put it the best. And I know this is a Ohio State podcast, so y'all aren't really going to care. Go watch the mini movie that Mizzou Athletics does for all these games,
Ooh, that'd be
especially the
sweet.
Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Drink's speech before the game, Eli Drinkowitz. We
Hmm.
call him Drink.
Yep. I got you.
beforehand. He said, they're blue bloods. Everything they've gotten has been handed to them. We haven't gotten anything that we haven't earned.
Amen. Come
And
on.
that summed up the fan base and how we felt going into this game.
Yeah,
You want to
without
overlook
question.
us? Cool. You've been handed everything that you've gotten. We've had to earn this
And
shit.
trust me, Ohio State fans did overlook you. I fully like, even me a little bit. I knew you had good players. I knew Schrader. I knew Cook, and I was like, those are terrific players. But look at our defense. And for 3 quarters, they stood the test. But if your offense isn't producing, it's going to wear down. It's just that simple. So, and you guys took advantage and put it in and had that killer instinct to go because you played hard for 4 quarters. Ohio State acted like, in my opinion, no, that's not totally fair. But I want to say Ohio State fan base was disappointed to be in the bowl game, whereas Missouri's fan base was super pumped to be in the bowl game. And that doesn't take away from the victory. That doesn't take away from the victory at all because it's a New Year's Six game. If you're disappointed, then go piss off and play somewhere else.
True.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing: me and Ben were down in Arkansas, down in Fayetteville for the Mizzou Arkansas game.
Yeah.
The reaction in the stands wasn't, "Oh, we're happy because we just destroyed Arkansas, our faux rival." It was, "Oh my God, we're going to a New Year's Six bowl."
Yeah.
Like it was more that. It was more, holy crap, Drink did it.
Part
Drink
of it
actually did it. We
Yeah,
did
no,
it.
that had to be an amazing feeling too. We're definitely spoiled, Rob, and that's just for sure. Ohio State expects a playoff berth every year now. That it's a 12-game playoff. If you're not in the 12-game playoff next year, you'll see the same kind of response from Buckeye Nation. First of all, Ryan Day won't make it through next year if the Ohio State misses the playoffs, even despite his 56-8 record. But if they miss the 12-team playoff, he's probably gone. That's not I don't want that because I like him a lot more than most Ohio State fans right now. But going in, I know that the majority of the fan sites that I visit, 11 Warriors specifically, was not pleased to be playing in this bowl game. They were not pleased one bit. And so, which to me is disgusting. But we were 37 yards away from playing for a Big Ten championship and beating Michigan. We threw a pick at the end of the game. I don't know if you watched that game or not, but
Mizzou's 2 losses this year are off picks. That's the thing. Mizzou is 2 picks away from running spoiler for the entire SEC.
And that's something else, man. One play here, one play there can really change the trajectory of a season. It's wild to think about.
We're a pick 6 away against LSU.
Okay.
And we're a pick to a big really hurt. And we're a pick away from a big fat guy against Georgia from playing from sitting here going. Me and Ben are
2 years in a row versus Georgia. Oh, I wanted you guys to win so bad.
2 years, sir. We haven't beaten Georgia since 2013.
No, I'm saying like 2 years you were within a razor's edge of winning the football game.
Oh, this isn't just 2 years. We've been doing this since 2014 with them. People are like, "Oh, they're Georgia." Yeah, it's Mizzou against Georgia. We're somehow Drinkowitz and Pinkel when he was here. Not Odom. Fuck Odom. We will always say that. We don't like Barry Odom. For whatever reason, Pinkel and Drink have the magic formula to play Georgia close. Just never beat them.
Never take him down the giant.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
it's pain.
We've never beaten Bama, and we've never beaten Georgia since 2014.
Wow.
And that's just going to stick in our crawl because it's like, God.
Do you have either of them on the upcoming 24 schedule?
Yes.
The Bama game you do, right?
To Bama. Me and Ben are going to Bama.
Ooh-wee. That'll be sweet. You can be vlogging that, right? I hope.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I know you guys have a lot returning. That's that much, or at least it seems like it. Your firepower is coming back, right?
I'll say on the offense.
Yes.
On offense.
Yes.
The defense is a whole another situation.
Which again, going back to what you were saying earlier about Ohio State fans, you're like, "Oh, you know who they are on offense." You're ignoring the fact that we had one of the best defenses in the SEC all year.
Well, that was clear. Made clear in the bowl game.
Rakestraw, Drain, Hopper, Robinson, Jernigan. Who else?
Yeah.
I know there's more than 5 that are going to the NFL right now.
Okay. Okay.
Plus me, this plus one of our O linemen, plus
Mm.
Schrader.
Yeah.
Like, we're losing 8 Niles Gaddy. That was the other one on defense that's leaving.
Oh, I thought Schrader had. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. You're getting
Like,
Cook back though, right?
yes, Cook's coming back. St. Louis born native, grew up a Mizzou fan. He's living the dream that
Love it.
all of us that grew up
Love
Mizzou
it.
fan are living. And it's a weird one because it's like, God, I hate that you're living out my dream, but you're winning games.
Go win it, man. Go win it. Well, yeah, that is you guys do return a lot, and I'm the kind of fan that prefers a good defense over a good offense. So having Ryan Day as my head coach is actually a little bit of a interesting situation for me because I highly prefer a great defense and a good enough offense. That's the kind of championship I would want to win a team with. A team winning the championship, kind of like much like Michigan this year. Let's be honest. Great defense, kind of okay offense. They ran for 300 yards in the title game. I get that, but their offensive numbers are somewhat pedestrian. Um. So anyway, moving on. I know I'm going to remember this game forever. Not only because it was one of 3 games that Ohio State has not scored a touchdown in, but my cousin, who I watched the game with, and I was in California at the time, gave me a cherished gift that I don't know how I'm ever going to repay him for. He just handed it to me like it was a button, a signed Archie Griffin jersey.
Oh,
I was like, "What?" He literally handed it to me like, "Here you go." And I looked at him with my mouth agape. I was like, "You just handed me a jersey with Archie Griffin signed," because he used to be the California president of Ohio State Alumni Association. So he got to meet all the big timers from all his days. He went there in the '90s, and he just handed this to me. And so, although the game is forever tainted in my memory, and I'll probably never watch highlights of it because, to be honest, there weren't a lot of Ohio State highlights.
Fourth quarter, anyways.
You just fast forward to the fourth, no doubt. I've been there. I've been there with games like that before.
Big pass
What's
to Marquise in the end of the third.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
So
but that's another.
I'll remember this game for that jersey. So it's a bittersweet thing because that jersey will eventually be behind me and framed in a picture frame and everything like that. I'm gonna get it framed here in the next month or so, and it'll be part of my setup. I got my Woody Hayes bobblehead, my Jim Tressel signed mini helmet back there. Um, but yeah, so for this game, I'll remember it for this Archie Griffin jersey. It's something I never could have gotten on my own. But the game itself was like, wow. I was pretty dejected on the ride home, not gonna lie. But enough about me and my fandom and whatnot. But looking ahead to the schedule, the 2024 schedule, you guys do get a lot back. Overall, you said you had a mixed. You're losing Schrader, you're losing some defenders, losing some old linemen. What do you project
all of our defenders?
Missouri to be ranked entering the 24 season? What should they be ranked coming off a Cotton Bowl championship?
10, because I feel like
Really?
that even feels high for Mizzou. This is a weird
Really?
feeling for us. This is a weird feeling because here's the
Okay.
thing: there's what I feel like we should be ranked, and what
Yeah,
I think we should be ranked.
I get that. I was gonna say 7 or
I would
8,
say
bro. I'm just
top
being honest.
Yeah, let's say Ben's going top 15. Ben will admit, and those that listen to Earning Our Stripes will tell you, I'm the cheerful one on the podcast. I'm the
Okay.
one that did the rallying cry after the LSU game to not get down. They're going to be great days ahead, and look what happened. I was also the one that predicted the schedule perfectly before the season started.
Is that so?
Yes, 10-2 with losses to LSU and Georgia.
Hats
Predicted
off.
it before it started. I've got the receipts. Go listen to EOS, and you can find them too.
Yes, sir.
What I think Mizzou will be ranked is non-ranked at all because I think that the media has a weird bias against Mizzou. And with that being said, I also think that they're going to rank Kansas and not rank Mizzou because it's how it
Interesting.
is and that's how it's always been, and Ben can agree with me on that. Mizzou
So
was 4-0, not ranked, coming off a win against a number 15 ranked K-State.
yeah,
Wasn't ranked. KU was ranked.
they were.
Then KU gets demolished in their next game. Mizzou beats Memphis, and then we're ranked against Vanderbilt.
Oh, I see.
So it's one of those where it's like,
I really think you guys should embrace the season that you had and going forward have high expectations for your Tigers. Just embrace it. Embrace it. It might be more painful on the fall if you guys don't live up to those expectations, but it's worth it.
So, sir, you obviously don't know the Mizzou fan base that well. Ben,
No,
what is
I
the one
don't.
thing we thrive on?
Misery?
Chaos and disappointment.
Oh, you sound like Detroit Lions fans before this year, of course.
Yeah. This is an anomaly.
Well,
I feel
you mentioned at the beginning same old Tigers, and I never heard that before. You know, I've heard same old
same
Lions for
old
forever,
Tigers.
but I was like, wait a second, you guys just went 11-2 or
Exactly.
10-2 heading into the bowl game and 11-2 final.
Yes, but we won by one score over Memphis. We
Yeah.
won by 5 over Middle Tennessee State, who ended up with 4 wins.
Ooh, ouch! Didn't know that.
Yeah. God, what else? I've blocked so many of these games.
Are you
We
guys?
barely escaped Florida, who didn't make a bowl
Would
game
you
this year.
would you ever predict an SEC championship game berth? Yeah, that's kind of the response I expected.
No,
That's
not at all.
because legitimately that was one of my questions going into next year. Like, should they be not the favorites in the division,
Well,
but should they
that's the
be
thing.
considered?
He's getting rid of divisions next year.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so is Big Ten. So is Big Ten.
So it's just the best the top 2. Which
Okay, well it'll be Georgia,
with
Bama then.
with Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, Texas,
Yeah,
Oklahoma, Texas A&M, LSU,
yeah,
and then Mizzou's
that's
in there as
solid.
well, which I feel like Mizzou's going to filter out, be a top 5 team and all that.
I
Especially given the
legitimately
schedule for
think they
next
should be
year.
a top 10 team heading into next season. Like, legitimately.
No. Because
No.
no.
How many
I
returning
feel
starters do you have off this Cotton Bowl championship team?
what?
How many returning starters off this Cotton Bowl championship team?
Not a lot on defense. A few on offense,
Right.
but we also lost our defensive coordinator. We have a brand new one coming in.
Ooh, where'd he go to?
Blake Baker went to LSU.
Oh,
We brought
screw
in
him.
we
Screw
brought
him.
in Batoon from South Alabama. He's now our new defensive coordinator. He's had a top 18 defense in the nation
Ooh.
every year that he's been there at
Hey,
South
now,
Alabama. Granted, it's South Alabama. That's a Sun Belt.
caveat
But
applied, right?
at the same time, people said that about Kirby Moore when we brought him in from Boise State or Fresno State.
Ooh,
They
good
said the same
question.
thing about him last year when we brought him in as offensive coordinator, and look what happened with the offense.
I see.
Now,
Question down there for you guys from my co-host Robert. Was it true that Mookie Cooper, former Buckeye receiver, was negative recruiting Ohio State in his time in Missouri? Was that true or not so true? Or what do you know or don't know?
don't know anything about it really.
There were rumors on the Ohio State boards leading up to the bowl game that he said, don't go to Ohio State. Do not go to Ohio State because of X, Y, and Z.
It could be knowing Mookie, but then again, Mookie has completely fell in love with the Mizzou fan base since he came here. Same thing with
That's
Theo
really
Weiss.
cool, man.
Theo Weiss came from Oklahoma. This was his first year this
Yep.
past year. And
Yep.
he's like, I didn't get the amount of love that I got in Oklahoma that I have since I've came to
It's
Mizzou.
got to be more intimate, I would
Which is a
imagine.
way more common thing that you would think when you hear about guys that transfer from other programs that come to Mizzou. They're like, oh, these fans aren't even like if you mess up, Mizzou fans aren't blaming you. They're blaming the refs or the coach or anything else. They're not blaming you. And when you do something, they support you. And no matter what, they'll support you.
That's awesome, man.
It's here's the thing: we're not again. Like it's a perfect example. People are like, "Oh, you're successful in the Big 12." Kind of
Mhm.
successful in the Big 12. You're successful your first few years in the SEC. Yeah, we went to 2 SEC championships, but we got blown out in both of them.
Sure.
Like,
Then everyone says that we don't belong, even though we went to a New Year's Six.
or
Mm,
we beat a team in the SEC. I'm tired of being Mizzou's Super Bowl. I'm tired of being the one they have circled on the calendar. No, we're just excited because we're showing everyone what we can do, and we're excited that we can actually, win games for once.
that makes
The
sense.
thing that no one wanted to talk about going into the Cotton Bowl, which is ironic that it was the Cotton Bowl because the Dallas Fort Worth area is the third largest Mizzou alumni association in the nation behind St. Louis and Kansas City. So a
Okay.
lot of those fans were already there in Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington area. So
Yep.
it wasn't that far of a drive, including I saw multiple times Mizzou fans send messages out, hey, if you need a hotel, I have a spare room in my house down here. I'll let Mizzou fans stay at so they can still go to this
That
game.
is too cool.
Like, we're a small, tight knit fan base. Not as tight knit as, like, small and tight knit as, like, Toledo fans or,
Sure, sure.
Idaho Vandal fans or something like that. But
Right.
it's still pretty tight knit here. There were
That's
so
really
many
great,
times
man.
that me and
Family
Ben
atmosphere, it sounds like.
like times me and Ben went to games, saw someone that we saw in another game, we're like, hey, and
That's
like we
cool,
would talk to
man.
them and stuff. Like it's one of
Yeah.
those, like, hey, what's up? I remember you. And we'd ask how you were and stuff. That's how we are.
That's awesome, bro. I love it. I love to hear stuff like that, man. I really do. That's really cool. You
It's
guys are there for each other, supporting the players, supporting them through the thick and the thin, no matter what, and not bashing them. I'm sure you still get the crazy radical fans that go on Twitter or DM recruits or DM players and
not
bash them,
really, not really.
but I hope not.
No, we more just it hasn't happened this year with basketball, but if basketball we win a game, when the opposing team posts that final score graphic, it's just a lot of crappy Mizzou memes, and it's just a bunch of them. And I'll be the first to admit that I am one of them. I go underneath there. I have a picture of Eli Drinkwitz holding up a sign, red eyes, and on the sign it says "Suck that tiger dick, bitch," with Narco playing in the background.
Sure.
But I mean, that's just we're more that type of fan base. We're the we're gonna
That's
troll
great.
you, we're gonna make you mad at us type fan base, and not the
We're gonna hate it.
I hate that this 22-year-old dropped a pass that
Isn't
was
that
5 feet
ridiculous,
over his
man?
head. Like that's
Isn't
not how
that the
we are.
that's the one thing I really despise about my fan base at times. It can be that ugly.
Yeah.
You know.
I can.
It can
I will say that I have a friend who's in. Well, I have a couple friends actually that are in Ohio State's athletic band.
Not the marching
okay.
band.
But yeah, not the athletic band, because the people in the actual marching band
Don't have social
time
lives.
to be in the
No, they
have
don't.
social lives and don't have time to be in the group chat that we have. But one of my friends that's in the athletic band, the day that Sharon Moore became the head coach of Michigan,
Yeah.
he was in his Twitter DMs and was subsequently blocked immediately.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not one to follow recruits. I'm not one to follow too many players. I'm not one to message or tweet at or do anything of that nature. That's just not in my character. It's not my nature to do that. Um, so it is disgusting to me some of the things that happen that have been said about Kyle McCord, after he left and etc. And I thought he gave us a great 12 games. It's unfortunate we were 37 yards short against Michigan. I wish him well for the future. I don't have any ill will toward him. I like him a lot. Now, when I opened my pack for the on it cards that I got, the on it cards that you got as well from Missouri, I got one for Ohio State.
Yeah.
I kind of was hoping there wasn't a Common Core card just because he's not on the team anymore. Not because I don't like him or there's shade thrown at him or anything like that. I want players that are still on the team.
So perfect example of that. Our leading receiver in 2022 left us, Toski Dove.
Okay.
And he went, or Dominic Lovett. Which one was it, Ben? I guess both left.
They both left, but Lovett went to Georgia.
Dominic Lovett went to Georgia. That would have been the perfect reason. It's like, oh, we should hate him. No, it's just like, well, that sucks, but we wish him the best. Toski Dove left. He went to Memphis, played against him. We were like, well, I guess he can't stay around, but good luck over there.
And that's the thing. Most times it's once a Buckeye, always a Buckeye. But I feel like that for whatever reason, Kyle McCord got the blame for the Ohio State loss. And that makes me sick. Yeah, he did throw a horrific pick in the first quarter. I don't know what he was seeing there. And he threw obviously the pick to end the game. But I wish him well at Syracuse. I want him to succeed. I'm going to be cheering him on and rooting him on for sure.
Yeah,
but I don't think most of Buckeye Nation will.
This year.
Say it again.
That Syracuse team is going to be an interesting one next year.
Oh, there's not much talent on that squad, unfortunately. Comparatively, anyway.
They got a pretty good running back there.
They got a good running back, but I watched a little bit of their bowl game. I think it was versus South Florida. They lost like 45-0.
Yeah, but this was also a South Florida team that almost beat Bama. Like, again, I feel like people don't.
True.
And it's like, oh, you lost to a Group of 5 team. Yeah, this Group of 5 team almost beat Bama, though.
They played Bama, who was a semifinal team that almost dethroned Michigan, but couldn't quite do it in overtime.
So it's one of those where it's like, lost to a Group of 5 team.
Right.
They beat, it's like, you lost to SMU. Did no one watch what SMU did to fucking TCU this year? Stuff like that.
Seriously, though. No, I'm with you.
There's no one watching, so obviously you're not a real college football fan. You just pay attention to your team.
Just your own particular team. You don't like college football. You like your team.
We shameless plug for Big Time Talkers. We do a segment called Sleeper Game of the Week, where we will go during the college football season and find just a random college football game. Say one of us will say, which one of us will say a game. And it's like, this is our sleeper game for the week.
Yeah.
I remember Ben said Fresno State and Wyoming one week, and I went, no, it's going to be 3-7 San Diego State versus 2-9 Nevada, and that game was incredible.
Oh, wow.
It was like the walk-off kick for Nevada to win. I'm like, golly!
Reno, Nevada. That's wild. That's so wild, man. That's cool.
So we get it. We understand all this.
Well, like I said, man, I love me some action. I love Mountain West football. I traveled to Wyoming way back in the 90s, and so I have an affinity for the Wyoming Cowboys, and so I played some Dynasty with the Wyoming Cowboys before on NCAA. Love the game. That also grew my fandom to be a fanatic, not just a fan, the football game, and I'm so stoked it's coming back this year. Cannot wait to play that game again. Gonna be amazing. Are you guys players of that game or not so much?
Yes, I still have NCAA 14, and I still play religiously.
I still do too. Yes, you're my kind of guy. Yes, I love that.
Ben is I'm really excited. A little bit older version of the NCAA franchise, which I have all of them from like 07 up to 14. So
that is terrific, man. Yeah, me and my buddy, we'd stay up. Eastern Michigan is the local MAC school here. It's in Ypsilanti, Michigan, right next to Ann Arbor.
And that is our pick for our favorite MAC school. So
yes, Eagles, baby.
The kicker for Eastern Michigan actually was on his field goal unit when he was in high school.
No way.
Yeah, Brady Pohl.
No way.
He graduated from the same high school I did. He's a year younger than me. I blocked for him my senior year.
No way.
He set the Missouri high school record for longest field goal made.
Hey, yo.
For it. So
hey, that's sick.
But that's why
cool connection.
Supports Eastern Michigan so much, because it's like, hey, I know him, and it's like with Michigan when Ronnie Bell was there, I played against Ronnie Bell in high school, so it's one of those. It's like, hey, it's cool to see one of the guys from our area come out, and now he's in the NFL. Skylar Thompson, who played at K-State and is now in the Dolphins, played against Tennessee. So it's just one of those. It's like there's a lot of connections the Kansas City area where I'm like, hey, I played against you. Hey, I know you.
That's sick.
Hey, I
Yeah.
wrestled you. There are two guys on the Mizzou wrestling team where it's like, hey, I wrestled against both of you my senior year.
Okay, then.
I got my ass beat by them, but I still wrestled them.
Hey, man, you were on the mat.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, shoot.
Well, I backed up a state champion for the first 3 years of my career. So
I got you. Well, I am okay. Well, it's interesting of the Missouri Tiger fan base, just what this win meant. My last question for you, and maybe you guys do predictions, maybe you don't. What is you looking for with who you got back, who you don't have back? What's your projection for the 2024 Mizzou Tigers? What are they going to be record wise?
yes. Yeah, the answer is yes, because you can't even get an answer out of the fan base right now as a whole.
So divided, huh?
No, it's not even that. It's more of a huh. So
I got you.
Ben, you can back me up on this. I'm gonna quit. I have Mizzou's schedule pulled up for next year. Mizzou starts off the year with 4 straight home games against Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, and Vanderbilt.
Ooh, BC would be fun.
That's 4 straight home games is not the most straight Mizzou home games I've seen in a row.
No, it is not. I still remember the record of 7 straight.
Jeez.
No home games to end the year. It was great. They did homecoming in September.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And then
That's
they're
unique.
But Rock, we have to remember that my freshman year, the 2019 season, we started the year 5 home games back to back, and as a freshman being in the marching band, having to learn a brand new show every single week is not fun.
Sir, we do not talk of the 2019 season. We all agreed to block that out of our memories.
Block it out the memories, man.
I don't want to remember Kelly Bryant.
Let it go.
And then it's at A&M, at UMass, homecoming against Auburn, at Alabama, home versus the Sooners, at South Carolina, at Mississippi State. And then finally, of course, the same game that it ends all year now since we joined the SEC, at home, battle line rivalry versus the Razorbacks.
I see. Okay, then.
Which I love how they said, oh, you're going to keep 3 rivals for each year. That's what the SEC told us. So we're sitting here, we're looking at it, we're like, are we keeping Arkansas, South Carolina, and Oklahoma?
Yeah.
And I thought like us, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, and Oklahoma or something.
I think it's South Carolina because we have the rivalry with them in quotation marks.
Interesting.
It's the Mayor's Trophy.
Yeah, the Mayor's Cup, the 2 Columbias battling each other.
Oh, yeah. Battles of Columbia.
You ask any Mizzou fan, and our answer is to who our bigger rival is, South Carolina or Kentucky. They will all say Kentucky. We hate Kentucky.
Jeez.
So, we will say that all the time. But realistically, okay, Ben, I'm gonna throw it to you. What are you thinking? Just give me the losses.
Alabama.
I don't know with Bama. They keep losing everybody.
Ohio State has raided their roster.
Alabama is the only one I'm concerned with.
That's kind of how I am too. I'm not worried about Oklahoma.
Yeah, they lost Dylan Gabriel, so
and their quarterback left too. So
yeah, he went to Oregon. We got to face them now. Ohio State does in Eugene.
So
yeah, that game's gonna be crazy. Ohio State going to Eugene.
No, dude, I'm still wanting to go. I want them to announce it for the Rutgers at home against Washington game. I'd go to over to New Jersey to watch that. Yeah, I'd watch Rutgers at home versus Washington. Hell yeah.
I love your enthusiasm for college football, man. Love it.
Indiana is on the road at UCLA this year.
Oh, let's go. But that's not coast to coast like Washington is to Rutgers.
Right.
Ben, do I give the unhinged Mizzou fan answer or Mizzou answer.
Honestly, I'm thinking we only lose to Alabama, or if we lose, it's one.
I'd say there are unhinged
So-
Mizzou fans saying we're going 12-0.
In your opinion,
I
they're
will
not going to
always go.
start high,
I
but
will
they're going to
always
end
go.
high.
I will always go pessimistic Mizzou fan. Pessimistic Mizzou
interesting.
fan always says 6-6 or 5-7.
We're gonna. Man,
that is pessimistic
I
Mizzou
can't
fan.
go with that
hedge
opinion.
yourself emotionally. I get you.
That's what every Mizzou, especially this early now. Come closer to the football season, I'll be sitting here probably going, "Oh, Mizzou's going undefeated. We're playing in the SEC championship game against Ole Miss." I'll be doing something like that. But right now, I can't be saying that because I'm sitting here. I'm going, "Oh God, I don't know who Bama's going to get in recruiting.
Yeah.
I don't know who Oklahoma's going to get. I don't know how good this new defensive coordinator is from Mizzou.
Yeah.
Arkansas might improve.
There's some question marks there. It sounds like there's more question marks than I realized going in. So
yeah, it's one of those where it's like Mizzou has a chance to set a record for most amount of guys.
anytime you return a starting quarterback as good as Brady Cook, though, I think you're cooking with grease. You don't think he's good?
Brady Cook.
What?
You don't think he's good?
He said, "As anytime you return a starting quarterback as good as Brady Cook." Ben was calling for his head.
Ouch.
After the LSU game. Here's the
Well,
thing. Mizzou
I'm
has a
impressed with the
quarterback
guy.
sitting behind him that's a 4-star named Sam Horn. He's
Okay.
on the only time he sees the field is never. He played like 4 snaps this year in total.
Yeah.
Mizzou's baseball team is using him way more than Mizzou's team is. And he's on a
Jeez,
football scholarship.
Jeez, Pete.
So it's one of those where it's like, as quarterback as good as Brady Cook, man, listen. I'm surprised he's coming back this year. I am surprised he is not like, well, I just had the best year that I'm probably ever going to have.
Well, he's a Mizzou super fan, like you said, growing up.
Exactly. But at the same time, it's as a Mizzou super fan, you should know a quarterback for Mizzou coming back for his 3rd year rarely goes well.
I see.
See James Franklin.
There's that same old Tigers coming out again, no doubt.
See James Franklin. See Blaine Gabbert. See
Yeah.
Matty Mock. See Drew
Matty
Lock.
Mock, yep.
See Brad Smith. See, keep going down the list.
Ooh, Brad Smith, good. Oh, I liked him.
It's one of those where it's like, to quote the Farmers commercials, I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. And a lot of things that I've seen that are a thing or two are traumatizing as hell for Mizzou fans.
Okay, that's fair enough, man. I got you.
Anytime I see a kicker or a punter starting to run with a punt, I get flashbacks to Kentucky.
Flashbacks. Never want those kind of flashbacks.
No, you don't, because that cost us the game.
Yeah.
It's a fumble. Yeah. He's running with it. It's not roughing the kicker.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
That was a rough one. That was a rough one.
Well, wrapping things up, man. It's been a lot of fun, man. We've been live for just a little over an hour with you gentlemen. I'm really glad I found your channel. I will continue to support. I've listened to a couple of your Earning Our Stripes podcasts and will continue to listen. I love the pack openings.
Pack opening.
I'm gonna continue to do some pack openings myself. Re-upload the one that I did, and then hopefully get some more. Get a Marvin Harrison card. But anyway, one last thing, just if we talked about Elite Tiger Sports, obviously your YouTube channel. That's where they can find you. But anything else of based on the Cotton Bowl that you want to say, or where they can find you personally, or where they can find your YouTube channel.
Well, see, that's the thing. There's 2 YouTube channels. There's Ben's.
I remember you mentioned that.
And then there's B Card Entertainment, which is where Ben, you saw what I posted today, right? The schizo post. The schizo video.
No, but you were talking about that with our other co-host for that.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
But because over there, I'm gonna just say it now. None of us are Chiefs fans. We all live in Kansas City, so this is hell for us right now.
4 out of the last 5 years, not cool.
Especially considering
it's good for the city, but It is what it is.
Especially
I hear
considering me
you.
and Ben were Chiefs fans and aren't anymore. Ben's a Lions fan now, and I'm a Colts fan.
Whoa.
So this is like we and
Whoa.
our other buddy's a Saints fan. He's grown up in New Orleans, moved up
So
here.
you're probably
So
rooting hard and heavy against the Chiefs for some reason.
I am glad that I own a Jimmy Garoppolo 49ers jersey right now.
There you go.
But
Jimmy G.
B Card Entertainment, Define Talkers. I can be found on Twitter at Brock Gordon 99. The B and the G are
Okay.
capitalized.
Yes.
Ben?
I can be found at Elite Tiger Sport. The E, the T, and the S are capitalized, all one word.
Yep.
B Card Entertainment can be found on Twitter at B_card ENT. The B, the C, and the E are capitalized on that one. And I'm going to do this our normal of how me and Ben wrap our show up. Have a wonderful rest of your week, folks. And as slowly and surely as the season approaches, we have been earning our stripes. And as always,
Nice. Love it. Love the soundbite, bro. That's awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on. I really enjoyed conversing with you guys. You guys are passionate, knowledgeable, and enjoyable to talk with. So thanks for joining the show. And yeah, good luck in 2024 season, and perhaps we'll meet again, our Buckeyes and Tigers, perhaps in another playoff game, maybe this time.
You might meet Ben when he comes to or goes to Columbus, or if he
Yeah.
ever goes to a Michigan game, which I highly doubt knowing him. Also, side note, it was the highest level of trolling for Mizzou to wear the block M's against Ohio State.
It was too. We saw.
Which is my least favorite helmet that Mizzou has. Bring back Sailor Tiger.
There you go. There you go. That's strong. Yeah, no, it was total troll job, and we took 2 fat L's to both Block M schools. So, yeah, that happened, and it was all over social media for about a week and a half. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining. Find them at Elite Tiger Sports and B Card Entertainment. You will find them there. And thanks again for joining us. We will catch you another time. All right, gentlemen.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Yep. Take care now. Yep. You're welcome, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.